Hi everyone, Janie here with Robbie.
Hi guys.
Welcome to my garden and welcome to Show Me Your Gardens Zone 8.
Zone 8?
Zone 8. So I've already done Zone 10 and I've done Zone 9 and now I have a guest so we can look at these gardens together.
Perfect.
So exciting. So Robbie and I are actually just about to leave for Cultivate. Our flight is tomorrow morning. But I made him come in here so that we could film one more of these before we leave for Cultivate.
As if it's hard to get us to film.
I know, right? so I think it'll be fun because we both can react to these videos. So again, this Show Me Your Gardens series is a series where you all can send in videos of your garden so that we all can see them. And I've divided them up per zones. So each episode or each video is a zone. Zone 10 all the way down to Zone 3. So this week is Zone 10, 9, 8, and tomorrow will be Zone 7. And then I think I'm gonna save the rest of the zones for next week. Okay, so the first garden we're gonna see for Zone 8, her name is Lacey, and she lives in Western Oregon, which I'm actually going up there in a couple weeks.
Really?
I know, I'm excited because I think it'll be cooler than it is here. So
Anywhere, yeah.
So I wanted to show Lacey's garden because it is so beautiful. It's so like woodland-esque, I would say.
That's so nice.
I know, and she has really cute dogs, and one of them was like howling for her to look. It was so cute. I was like, let the dog out, Lacey. So anyway, let's take a look at Lacey's garden right now.
Hi Janie, welcome to my garden. My name's Lacey and I live in Western Oregon, which is, I believe we're still Zone 8B. And I just wanted to thank you for the opportunity to share my garden with you. So I'll show you around for just a little bit. For perspective, we are on our driveway, and this is the view up at our house. We're on this side, we have our goats and our chickens. It's one of my 4 dogs. And here's the start of my driveway gardens. This is a no-till bed. I put down bark dust over, well, mulch, compost, and a cardboard over the existing grass that was here. You can hear my dog, one of my border collies, kind of howling in the background because he really wants to be out here with me. This is one of my most original the beds at the house. You can see I have a lot of spirea, I have a lot of red barberries, a lot of nepeta, because all that stuff does really well here. This is quite a slope. Our house is built into kind of a hillside, so I just really had to work with what I had and a lot of rockery to support the wall or to support the slanted gardens. This bed is also a no-till bed. I started out with just some big shrubs in here, and then I decided I wanted to add in a lot more perennials and different things, so I put in just a little walkway. So here we're walking up through this path. All these rocks were from around our property. It's been a labor of love bringing a lot of rocks in. And over the years, I've just kind of cut into our front lawn. Less and less lawn, more and more gardens. This one right here in the front is also a no-till bed. This one I put down the cardboard and kind of a garden soil mix, compost, and then mulch, and it's done really well. Front garden bed. They kind of mirror each other, but they're not exactly the same just because of the size difference. And we'll walk this way along this path. And we also built this little sweet garden shed a couple years ago now out of what was previously my boys' sandbox that my dad had made for them. And I absolutely love it. So this one, quite a little shade garden on this side. And then we're coming into our backyard. Again, I've just been kind of chipping away at our lawn and widening the beds. So that's a little look at my gardens here in Western Oregon. Thank you again, Janie, for the opportunity to share my garden with you.
That's so cute.
I love it. Lacey, we're laughing at your dog. It's so cute. Okay, your garden is absolutely stunning. I had to include this one because isn't it good?
It's amazing.
It's
yeah.
beautiful.
I love all the like rock retaining walls that she has.
Like, yeah. So
I'm so jealous.
So
of
it's,
that.
she said it was built into the side of a hill or a mountain.
Yeah.
So she kind of, you know, dug out areas, flat areas that she could plant in. It was absolutely beautiful.
And then here we are trying to like build berms and
I know.
add any height to our garden.
Look at it.
We have texture
I have
and height.
elevation. It's like perfectly flat. Anyways, Lacey, thank you so much. You have an absolute gorgeous garden. You've done such a good job. And I wanted to say, I really like the foliage color difference is really, really
There's
beautiful.
a lot of color, a lot of texture.
Yeah, it's beautiful. So next garden is Shaminder. She is from Atlanta, zone 8A. And she has a beautiful garden. And I'm assuming a pretty humid garden as well in Atlanta.
We can't relate to that.
We can't. No.
Hey Janie, welcome to my garden. My name is Shaminder and I garden in Atlanta Zone 8A and I wanted to show you my backyard garden. Started working on this garden 3 years ago, so this is going to be the third summer. We have extreme humidity, we get so much heat, we get rain as well. I have a very red clay soil which holds so much moisture, and some of the plants are extremely thriving in my conditions, so I just wanted to show you which all plants are thriving in my garden. I quickly want to mention this peach tree that I have. I planted this 3 years ago, and when I planted it, it was like a stick, and now there are so many peaches which are growing on this tree, and I'm just so excited. So I just wanted to mention that as well. The first flower that I want to show you is this coneflower. Coneflowers perform really well in our zone, in our clay soil, in this humidity. We never see any powdery mildew or anything like that on coneflowers. And I have so many different colors that I grow. I have some over there and in my front yard as well. I love coneflowers. And this particular variety is Proven Winners variety. This will take you to the fall. And I was just blown away by how long of the blooming period for this particular variety is. So I love coneflowers. Nyphophia performs really well. This is second year of this Nyphophia, and I love the grassy texture, and it performs really well in our clay soil and in our zone. And another one is Phlox. So this is Pinka Dot Opening Act from Proven Winners, and this Phlox is just going to bloom like this for the whole season. The first flush which I got from this was in early spring, and now this is the second flush which is coming up. You will see so many new buds. So this is another Phlox. So Phlox will do amazing in our zone. Rudbeckia also performs really well in our zone and in clay soil. This lavender is Proven Winners, Sweet Romance, and this has been blooming like this from weeks now. If somebody is in my zone and looking, or if they have clay soil and they're looking for lavender, then Sweet Romance is amazing.
Thank you so much, Janie, for visiting my garden. This garden is still in work in progress, but I am happy where we have reached with the garden. This is the before shot, and this is how my garden looking today. So I hope you liked it, and thank you so much. I really appreciate that you allowed me to show my garden to you. Thank you. Bye.
Okay, Shaminder, I loved it. So very pretty. Thank you for putting the names of all the plants on the screen.
That was huge.
We really like that. We were taking notes too. But I love your use of color. It's absolutely beautiful. Do you plant a lot of coneflower?
No, but after seeing hers.
I know. And I've been hearing it. Like, a lot of people are like, coneflower is the best. Coneflower is the best.
I have just planted my first ones ever.
I have no coneflower in this garden, so it's going to need to happen. I planted it before.
That raspberry one was stunning.
So beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And thank you for the advice on the lavender in your area. I just did a lavender video. I'll link it in the description down below, but I did have a lot of people asking me what type of lavender was good for the south with your clay soil. And so Shaminder says the romance.
The sweet romance.
Sweet romance. I blanked on the name for a second. So thank you so much, Shaminder. I appreciate it. The next garden I'm so excited to show you.
I'm so excited.
I'm excited. I just wait. And so if you don't know Kendall from Kendall's Greenhouse, know Kendall from Kendall's Greenhouse. She is located in the Seattle area, and she's new to YouTube, and she's doing a fantastic job. I love her channel. I love watching it. I also love her. She's a great gardener and such a sweet person. And I love her garden.
I love her garden.
I love her greenhouse.
I love the greenhouse.
So let's watch.
Hi Janie and hi gardening fans. I'm Kendall with Kendall's Greenhouse, and I garden here in Zone 8B, Washington State. Janie has inspired me to start my own YouTube channel, sharing my gardening adventures. I have 2 different properties here, but both are in Zone 8B. This property is less than 3,000 feet away from the Puget Sound. My other property is less than 3,000 feet away from the Pacific Ocean. Since I have the opportunity to garden in 2 different gardens, both in the same zone, I thought it would be fun to share them both with you and share some of my experiences. So first, let's talk about the plants that thrive in this area. In this garden, I was lucky to inherit a lot of mature trees, including rhododendrons. They do really well in my garden. I have them in a lot of different areas. I love my large rhododendron in the front of the house. I actually didn't know what color it was going to be when I bought the house because we bought it in July, and the rhododendron didn't bloom until the following June. It's purple. I also have some established Japanese maples like this one here. As far as herbaceous perennials and annuals, things like catmint do really well here, chocolate dara does really well, and foxgloves do really well here. In my other home in Seabrook, Washington, I have a hedge made from escallonia that we enjoy, and it's blooming this time of year. It's loved by pollinators and hummingbirds. I've also learned that campanula grows really well near the ocean, and sweet peas grow really well too because it stays colder there longer. The plants by the ocean that I can't grow are jasmine. I've tried a couple times. They just don't like the windy weather. Basically, any plants that don't like wind don't grow well there. So Japanese maples also don't like the weather there. Here in Tacoma, I'm pretty lucky. My property is pretty sheltered. Usually I can just move a plant around until I find the right spot for it. So as far as the biggest challenges in my gardens, in Tacoma, I would say the pest I have the biggest trouble with is aphids. I had very buggy lupins this year, so many aphids. They were very gross. The weed that I battle with the most is a native plant, but it kind of takes over the garden and is a thug, and that is horsetail. If you know, you know. And then also in my garden, I have changing sunshade conditions. When the sun is higher in the sky in the summer, my greenhouse is in full sun, but then as it gets lower in the sky, it goes behind the house and my greenhouse becomes more shady and other parts of my backyard. So I'm still learning how to plant for those changing conditions. One final challenge in Tacoma is people and dogs. The front of my property is on kind of a main sidewalk area where a lot of people walk their pets and they cause a lot of damage. The dogs pee and walk on a lot of things, and people walk on a lot of plants and break them. So I have to be flexible and just replace plants or plant plants that are very hardy in that area of my garden. So as far as Seabrook is concerned, my biggest pest has been slugs. My first couple years of gardening, I had to go out at night with a glove and a flashlight and drop slugs into some soapy water, and that was gross. The weed, a thug in my garden that I struggle with in Seabrook, is called willow herb. It's just very seedy and seeds everywhere. Luckily, it's easy to pull out, unlike the horsetail. I mentioned before, the wind is my biggest sort of struggle in Seabrook, being by the water. It's cold wind, it's wind kind of all year round. You maybe get a little bit of a break from it in the summer, but it really bashes the plants. So things that have delicate petals or tall flower spikes get knocked over and damaged easily by the wind. So I have to consider that when I'm choosing what I plant. So advice I would give to other gardeners in Zone 8B would be, in Tacoma, I feel like we have a lot of flexibility about what we can plant. I'd say if you love a plant, try moving it around to different parts of your garden until you find its happy place. There's a good chance you can find somewhere in your garden that that plant will be happy. In Seabrook, it's a little more challenging to plant things because of the coastal weather. I would say try growing lower growing and hardier varieties of the plants you love, and avoid plants that don't like being in the wind. Thanks for joining me here at my greenhouse, and thank you, Janie, for sharing all of your joy of gardening with all of us.
Right?
Yeah.
The greenhouse.
The greenhouse.
The fountain down to the greenhouse.
That was crazy. I was not expecting that.
I know. Kendall's so beautiful. The campanula, yes, that is obviously a beautiful, beautiful plant, and your mature maple is just gorgeous. So again, anybody that does have social media associated with these videos, I will link them all down below. So for those of you in Zone 8 or even not in Zone 8 and just want the inspiration, click on the More button. So how do we describe this?
You hit more.
Next to the title, you hit More, and then that'll open it up.
No. You have to hit more again.
Okay.
You have to hit more, and then you hit more again. YouTube makes it so complicated.
So complicated, yes.
So you hit more twice, and then you'll see all of the links to everything.
Yes, and if you're watching on your television, you might want to just go watch on your phone. And then
you can do it from the TV, someone said.
I know.
I don't know how to do it.
I don't know how to do it either. So anyway, Kendall, your garden is so beautiful. I love it, and I hope one day I can actually come and visit, and we can do a really...
At that greenhouse.
That'd be great.
Yeah, that
I know.
waterfall. That was crazy.
Kendall,
I was not
my
expecting it.
goodness.
Yeah. We'll be up there.
Yeah. All right, now we are going to go from Washington all the way over to Georgia. We're going to go visit Rene in Lavonia, Georgia, which is Zone 8A.
Good morning, Janie. Renee here, coming to you from Lavonia, Georgia, Zone 8A. I live in North Georgia, right on the South Carolina-Georgia border. I live on beautiful Lake Hartwell. I planted all of the hardscape a year ago, May, and have been adding in flowers, perennials and annuals over the last year. So in my lower garden, some of the hardscape I have are Distillium, Cinnamon Girl. I have a Moonlit Viburnum. I have Radiance Obelia, Summerific Hibiscus. And there are a couple of drift roses in here that are getting swallowed by the bubblegum Supertunia. I have a coral bark maple, Cotoneaster back there, Cinnamon Girl here. Still haven't added my sidewalk against the new garage. It's just stepping stones now, but I plan to have a sidewalk over here. Some tiny quickfire hydrangea, boom chocolate geraniums that I've just cut back so they're not blooming. Bubblegum, more bubblegum Supertunia, a Baptisia, some callas, Summerific hibiscus. My callas and my hibiscus are just getting eaten by Japanese beetles. And moving this way, a new wraparound driveway in the terrace garden. I have another Summerific hibiscus up here. It's just starting to bloom. As you can tell, I love bubblegum Supertunia. I love the pink. I have a little gem magnolia, a dwarf Fat Albert, blue spruce. I repeated my hardscapes up here with my Obelia Radiance, the dwarf gardenias. I have some little gem boxwoods in the back, 2 Fire Chief arborvitaes up front, more of the dwarf Lorpetulum, some pink muhly grass, coneflower, Angara, one beautiful blue atlas. I planted a wall of Nellie Stevens up here to give me privacy from the road. I have a beautyberry, elephant ear. I have a lovely umbrella trying to shade a plant that's not liking this hot, intense sun. Recently bought several conifers that are just not liking this hot weather. Picea orientalis firefly. I think this is, what is this? Picea omerica. I'm terrible with names. I have a ring that goes around my circular driveway now of limelight hydrangeas. I plan to put a circular patio here. Haven't gotten that far yet. Lilac crush hibiscus. I'm about 2 hours from Dallas, North Carolina, from Jenny at Creekside Nursery, and last year I visited her nursery for the first time, and she had buy one get one free summerific hibiscus, so I loaded up another hibiscus here. Red twig dogwood. There's my Nellie Stevens hollies. I had my first attempt. I had a drainage issue here that was not draining, and I lost all of the plants I planted. I had a third Merlot redbud and 3 colonnade hollies that perished because of bad drainage, but I've since gotten it fixed, and now I've planted some emerald green arborvitae and one forever goldie that are not matching the height of my Nellie Stevens, but we're getting there. Blue, what's that called? Mr. Boulevard. Blue cypress. I have planted a pumpkin over here. Lewis and Clark. My other 2 kitties. Serendipity allium. Lemon coral sedum. Some zinnias and salvia. I believe you say that Taiyuki-yama, Japanese maple. Paul's gold cypress. I planted a Taylor's juniper to kind of go in between the 2 Nellie Stevens holly to give me more privacy. A baptisia that kind of went crazy this year. Cannas. This top of my driveway. My daughter recently graduated, so that's her little graduate I've had up here, and probably time to take it down. So my Nellie Stevens hollies are doing their thing, but this is the area where I had everything root rot that's going to slowly catch up to the hollies. So that's it. I love it. It makes me happy. I watch you every day. You inspire me. Our next step is to attach the garage to the house and put the same siding on the house as we put on the new garage. Zone 8A, Lavonia, Georgia.
Beautiful.
That was so cool.
I know. Do you see
That
my
terrace garden.
That's why I picked it. That's why I
was
picked
crazy.
it. Because of the terrace garden. I was watching it. It was beautiful. Your hardscape is so beautiful, Renee. But when you showed the terrace garden, I was like, yes. It was so pretty. And your canna lilies are absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
And the hydrangeas.
They're huge.
Oh my gosh.
They were massive.
It was so very pretty. I want to see an after shot once you get all this siding to match from the house to the garage, because your property is going to be absolutely stunning. So
phenomenal.
Yeah. So thank you so much for sharing that with us. We really appreciate it. Okay, as the sun is down and we are losing light, we have one more Zone 8 video to show all of you. This is from Brittany. She lives in Charleston, South Carolina. I cannot wait for you to see this because it is so Charleston.
I can't wait.
It is so Charleston, and it is so pretty. Let's watch.
Welcome to our garden. This is last day of June 2024. My husband and I built our home 6 years ago, and the only shrub or tree that was put in by the builder at that time is this gorgeous white crepe myrtle right here. I like to use a mix of perennials and annuals in my front bed. There's a lot of amaryllis, caladium. I've got diamond mountain euphorbia this year, some elephant ear alocasias, and geraniums. I've also got some variegated gardenia bushes that are newly planted, and they're really just getting established, so they don't look the best right now. I've also got eucomis
and calla lilies. Right now, I think the absolute star of the show are my Starry Night hibiscus. Out of all the hibiscus I have, which I have several here in our garden, these have by far the biggest flower blooms. They're absolutely gorgeous. And later in the season, this Bergmansia angel trumpet will take over as the star of the show. I'll see if maybe I can get you a picture of what that looks like later in the season. All of these garden beds are brand new as of last year. So summer 2023, instead of doing a lot of planting, I established and built up these garden beds using the no-till, no-dig method. So I really focused on this area. We've got a Japanese maple that was potted for several years. It was an anniversary gift from me and my husband, and we finally got it in the ground last fall. French vanilla hibiscus getting ready to bloom. Holy Grail, Valentine Crush are getting out of bloom. They've been blooming for the past month. You've got Lavender Crush in the background there. I really like hibiscus. Got 3 different varieties of Nephofia, Vermillionaire, Heliopsis, Agastaki. This plant is very cool. This is the new Alstroemeria coming out from Proven Winners. This is the Summer Breeze. You can find on some websites they'll release some of the 2025 plants early, and I was able to get my hands on this one. It's absolutely gorgeous. This is my only area of shade gardening on the property. I love this little nook. I love elephant ears, so I have several different types of calocasias and alocasias. I'm also very proud of my hostas. A lot of people warn me against planting hostas in Charleston because of how hot and humid we are. This is a winter snow variety. It's 4 years old and it's absolutely massive and thriving. I know this isn't the best lighting right now. I've got Candy Crush hibiscus on either side. They are out of bloom. They were blooming their heads off for months. Toucan yellow cannas, they're perennial here. They will fill in and get really big by the end of the season. I love plumbago. And thanks for checking out my garden.
Brittany, your house.
Stunning.
It's gorgeous with the hanging baskets. Oh my god.
The ferns and
oh
the
my
flags.
god. Aren't you jealous right
I'm
now?
so jealous. And it's so pretty.
It's so pretty. And your crepe myrtle's beautiful. But the one thing I do have to say to you is you have an eye. The way that you've placed everything and kind of mass planted everything, like the hoopla in the backyard.
Hoopla was really nice.
Really nice. It looked so good. So you did such a beautiful job. I know I'm sure it's still a work in progress.
But for 6 years being there and building the house,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah, and you know, I'm assuming it was, I mean, you did. You said there was nothing there, and the first thing you planted was that crepe myrtle, which, good choice
No,
for
she
that.
didn't plant the crepe myrtle. Builders planted.
Oh, the builders planted the crepe myrtle. Well, the good choice for the builders. So, anyway, it was absolutely beautiful, beautiful house, as was everybody else's that was in this video, and everybody else that submitted their gardens as well. I'm so sorry I didn't have enough time to show everybody's, but I will get a chance to somehow show them, whether it's on Facebook or Instagram or another round of Show Me Your Gardens, right?
Good way to do it.
It's
Yeah.
fun seeing these
Yeah.
gardens.
I can't wait to take a sneak peek at the rest.
Only if you film the video with me. Otherwise, you gotta wait like everybody else. So again, as a reminder, I will put everybody's links in the description down below, their socials. Some of them have some really, really great channels with fantastic inspiration. So make sure you check those out. I hope you all enjoyed this, and I hope you all have a chance to get in your garden today.
Bye, guys.